Before the cities of Riyadh, Dammam, and Jeddah appeared on maps, before borders and kingdoms defined Arabia, there was only the desert. Endless stretches of sand and rock, dotted with oases and rugged hills, where life demanded cunning, courage, and resilience. The people of Najd, the central heart of Arabia, lived by the laws of the tribe. Loyalty, honor, and kinship were the currency of survival. Water was scarce, food scarcer, and yet these tribes thrived, moving with the seasons, guided by stars, and united by ancient codes passed down from generations. Among these tribes were families of remarkable vision and ambition. One family, known to the desert as Al-Saud, began quietly weaving its influence through alliances, marriages, and acts of valor. They were not yet rulers, but they were recognized for their wisdom and courage. The desert tested them constantly, shaping their resilience and teaching lessons that wealth or armies alone could never provide. The life of a tribe was never easy. Rivalries between clans could erupt into feuds. Tribal councils determined disputes. Honor could be defended with words or with swords. Yet in this harsh land, a fragile balance endured, one that allowed communities to survive and flourish amid the harsh desert sun. Stories were currency too. Tales of courage, cunning, and wisdom were passed from one generation to the next. These stories were more than entertainment. They were lessons, maps of survival, and guides for a world ruled not by kings, but by the desert and its people. Amid these tribes, the House of Saud quietly sowed the seeds of what would one day become a kingdom. They were young, ambitious, and patient. Their influence grew not through conquest, but through trust, alliance, and respect. The desert was their teacher, and time their ally. This was an era before kings, before oil, before cities and borders. It was a time when tribes were the guardians of the land, and the desert itself was the ultimate ruler. The story of Saudi Arabia had not yet begun. It was quietly being written in the sand, one family, one tribe, one generation at a time. The desert had long shaped the lives of tribes, but the sands of Najd were about to witness a transformation. Around 1744, two men forged an alliance that would echo through history: Muhammad bin Saud, the ambitious tribal leader, and Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab, a scholar with a vision of religious revival. Together, they laid the foundation of the first Saudi state, also known as the Emirate of Diriyah. This was not a kingdom in the modern sense. It was a bold vision of unity under faith, a merging of political ambition with spiritual revival. The desert tribes, long independent, now had a rallying cause that transcended clans and rivalries. Under the banner of this new alliance, the House of Saud began consolidating control over Najd. Small settlements became fortified towns. Tribal leaders either joined the movement or were subdued through negotiation and diplomacy. The emirate expanded, driven by both faith and strategy, becoming a powerful force in Central Arabia. But expansion brought conflict. Neighboring tribes and Ottoman forces watched with suspicion and fear. Raids and battles became a frequent reality. The first Saudi state was both a beacon of unity for its followers and a source of alarm for its enemies. Yet, under the leadership of Diriyah, the state endured, growing stronger year by year. This era was also one of transformation in society. Religion became a central pillar of governance. The alliance of Saud and Wahhab introduced reforms and stricter adherence to Islamic principles, reshaping social norms and justice systems. Education, law, and daily life were infused with a new sense of purpose and unity. Yet the desert, ever harsh and unforgiving, had its own plans. In 1818, the might of the Ottoman Empire, determined to curb the growing influence of the Saudis, descended upon Diriyah. After months of siege and battle, the first Saudi state fell. The walls of Diriyah crumbled, and the emirate was lost, but its spirit endured. The first Saudi state had been short-lived, but it left a legacy that could not be erased. It showed the power of faith and vision united with leadership. It planted the seeds for future reunification, proving that even in the vast, unforgiving desert, a determined people could rise to shape history. And so, from the ashes of Daria, a story of ambition, resilience, and destiny began to take shape, a story that would one day unite Arabia under a single banner. The desert had witnessed the rise and fall of the first Saudi state. Daria lay in ruins, its walls broken, its people scattered. Yet, in the hearts of the House of Saud, the flame of ambition was not extinguished. Out of the shadows of defeat, a new chapter was about to begin, the Second Saudi State. In 1824, Turki bin Abdullah al Saud, a determined leader from the Najd region, returned from exile. With patience, strategy, and the loyalty of tribes who still remembered the First Emirate, he began to rebuild the House of Saud's power. This was the era of resilience, where vision met tenacity in the harsh heart of Arabia. Turkey's leadership was not merely about reclaiming territory. It was about restoring order in a fractured land. Tribes had grown accustomed to independence, and rival clans tested every step. But Turkey was a master of diplomacy and strategy. Through careful negotiation and decisive action, he consolidated power over central Najd, founding the Second Saudi State, also called the Emirate of Najd. Life during this period was a delicate balance. The state was fragile, held together by tribal loyalties, personal alliances, and faith. The Saudis ruled not by sheer force alone, but through a network of respect, mutual interest, and religious legitimacy inherited from the First State. Yet, even as the state grew, rivalries simmered, both within the royal family and among other tribes. The Second Saudi State saw moments of strength and periods of turmoil. Battles were fought over loyalty and territory. Leaders rose and fell. But through it all, the Saud family persisted, their influence extending over Najd's deserts, towns, and oases. Religion remained central, guiding law, governance, and daily life, maintaining a sense of unity even in the face of adversity. By the late 19th century, internal divisions began to weaken the Second State. Feuds among family members, disputes over succession, and external pressures from neighboring powers created instability. In 1891, the Al-Rashid family from Hale emerged as a dominant rival, forcing the Saudis into temporary exile and ending the Second Saudi State. The Second Saudi State had endured for nearly 7 decades. Though it eventually fell, it left a lasting legacy: the survival of the House of Saud, the resilience of the Nadi tribes, and the enduring vision of a unified Arabia. The desert had tested them once again, but like the First State, their story was far from over. And so, from exile and defeat, the seeds of resurgence were planted. The stage was set for a new era, a unification that would one day bring all of Arabia under a single banner. The desert had seen empires rise and fall, tribes contend, and dynasties endure. Yet the House of Saud had not been defeated for long. In 1902, a young and determined leader, Abdulaziz ibn Saud, returned to Riyadh, ready to reclaim the family's destiny. This was the beginning of a chapter that would change the face of Arabia forever, the unification of the land. With courage, strategy, and a vision that spanned beyond Najd, Abdulaziz captured Riyadh, the heart of his ancestral homeland. This single act was more than a military victory. It was a spark, igniting a campaign that would unite fragmented tribes and rival territories into a cohesive state. Over the next 3 decades, Abdulaziz embarked on a journey across Arabia. Najd, Hassa, and the vast deserts of the east came under his rule. Then, in 1925, the sacred cities of Mecca and Medina were brought into the fold, uniting the Hijaz with the Najd. For the first time in centuries, the Arabian Peninsula was beginning to resemble a single entity under one leadership. Abdulaziz was not just a conqueror, he was a unifier. Through diplomacy, negotiation, and sometimes military action, he brought together rival clans and regions, creating alliances that would form the backbone of the modern state. Religion remained a central pillar, guiding laws, governance, and society, and providing legitimacy to his rule. This period also saw the first modern signs of change. Roads, communication, and interactions with foreign powers began shaping the region's future. Oil exploration was still on the horizon, but the foundations of a modern kingdom were being laid in the desert, brick by brick, alliance by alliance. 9 years after uniting Najd and Hijaz, on September 23, 1932, Abdulaziz Ibn Saud officially proclaimed the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. From the ruins of past states and the loyalty of enduring tribes, a kingdom had emerged, an enduring testament to vision, resilience, and the unifying power of leadership. The Third Saudi State was not just a unification of land, it was a unification of people, traditions, and dreams. From the deserts of Najd to the holy cities of the Hijaz, a new chapter had begun, one that would lead Arabia into the modern era. With the proclamation of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 1932, a new era dawned over the Arabian Peninsula. The deserts, once ruled solely by tribes and oases, now witnessed the birth of a modern state, an ambitious kingdom with ancient roots, yet looking toward a future shaped by oil, trade, and global connections. The discovery of oil in 1938 at Dhahran transformed the kingdom almost overnight. From humble beginnings as a desert emirate, Saudi Arabia became a country of strategic importance. Villages became towns, towns became cities, and life in the desert evolved with roads, schools, and communication networks. King Abdulaziz laid the foundations, but it was his successors who steered the nation into modernity. The kingdom maintained its traditional values while embracing development, education, healthcare, and technology. Tribes once separated by vast deserts now felt the cohesion of a nation united under one banner. Saudi Arabia's influence extended beyond its borders. As the world grew more interconnected, the kingdom became a key player in regional and global politics. Its wealth, derived from oil, enabled both internal development and international engagement, shaping the modern Middle East in profound ways. The modern kingdom is a land of contrasts, steeped in centuries-old traditions, yet embracing reforms and innovation. Cities glitter with modern architecture, yet the desert and tribal roots remain ever-present in the heart of its people. Leaders strive to balance heritage with progress, preserving the legacy of the past while preparing for a dynamic future. Today, under ambitious initiatives like Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia seeks to diversify its economy, expand opportunities for its citizens, and project itself as a nation of culture, innovation, and resilience. The kingdom's journey from desert tribes to a global player is a testament to enduring vision and relentless determination. From the tribal roots of Najd to the rise and fall of empires, from the unification under Abdulaziz to the modern kingdom of today, Saudi Arabia's story is one of survival, ambition, and transformation. The desert shaped its people, faith guided their laws, and vision carried them across centuries. And still, the story continues, written by those who dare to dream amid the sands of time. And so, the journey through time draws to a close, from the shifting sands of Najd to the shining cities of today. The story of Saudi Arabia is not merely history, it is the echo of determination, faith, and vision that still shapes the kingdom's future. Narrator: if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like this video. It truly helps us share more stories like this. Subscribe to the channel for the next chapter in Arabia's timeless tale, and share it with those who love history, culture, and the enduring spirit of the desert.